The cheer of Hearth's warming eve had filled Starlight Glimmer with a rosy, warm feeling, which was not something she experienced often. Actually, that should be amended. Starlight had memories of many Hearthwarming Eves back in her hometown, before the whole fiasco with Sunburst. Currently, Twilight's pupil was engaged in a conversation with a fuchsia pony who had downed 15 glasses of eggnog.
Are you sure you're all right, Berry Punch?
Starlight asked the mare cautiously.
Never been better. Horsewarming is such a great holiday.
It just doesn't seem healthy.
Starlight started. However, Berry promptly vomited all over Twilight's expensive carpet.
To drink that much eggnog.
Starlight finished, flattening her ears against her head.
I'll get a broom.
Thanks.
Berry stuttered before she gulped down another frothy helping of eggnog. Starlight pried the mug away from her and left to find a broom. As she cleaned up Berry Punch's bile, Starlight's thoughts flew to the story Twilight had narrated to her earlier.
Interesting that Snowball Frost was described as a gifted wizard, yet I've never read anything about her in textbooks. And her assistant was a Pegasus, not a unicorn. Wouldn't the latter be more useful as an assistant in the field of magical study?
Starlight, having mopped up the mess as best as possible, went to go fetch Spike. He would probably know better where to put the mop. She found him chatting with Fluttershy, and politely asked him to help her find the laundry room.
Spike?
Starlight remarked as they walked down the corridor on the opposite end of the castle.
Did anything seem strange to you about a heart-swarming tale?
No?
Spike shrugged and sucked on the candy cane he was holding.
Twilight's read it to me every year since we moved to Ponyville. It sounded the same as usual. Why?
I was thinking about it.
Starlight answered, pushing open the laundry room door.
And don't you think the characters' names are a little similar to our friends' names? I mean, Snow Dash and Flutterholly, for instance, are definitely Rainbow and Fluttershy, though Mary and Rarity are a bit of a stretch.
Probably just a coincidence.
Spike chuckled as he wrung out the mop.
Hey, do you think Twilight needs to know about the carpet?
I'll tell her tomorrow, when the festivities are over.
Starlight assured him.
And another thing, the description of the spirits. A transparent earth pony sporting pigtails and a country accent? A pink-coated pony with fuzzy hair and a cheerful grin? That sounds like Applejack and Pinkie Pie to me.
What's your point, Starlight?
Spike asked, leaning against the door.
Are you trying to say that our friends are characters in books? What's next? They're in a movie?
That's ridiculous. Any movie made about you guys would be met with negative reception, till the sequel justified it. And they'd get half the details wrong. They'd probably make Applejack a unicorn by accident. Anyways, I guess I'm just being a little critical. A smidgen too much eggnog.
Starlight sighed and offered Spike a sheepish smile.
Ah, I see. See you later, Starlight!
With a final wave, the little dragon disappeared into the crowd of party guests. Starlight chuckled to herself. By tomorrow, she'd have this all figured out. She always did. The next morning, Starlight crept out of her room and through the castle. The vicinity's silence unsettled her, since mere hours before, ponies had been celebrating loudly. Starlight yawned as she walked into the library. A certain purple pony was already inside.
Good morning, Starlight.
Twilight looked up from the book she was reading.
Happy day after heartwarming.
Thanks, Twilight. You too. What you reading?
Oh, nothing.
Twilight casually tucked a bookmark in to hold her place and closed her book, backside up.
Is there anything I can do for you, Starlight? Spike hasn't burnt the toast again, has he?
No, the kitchen's safe.
Starlight answered, brushing her mane out of her eye.
I was thinking about a heartwarming tale last night, and I wondered if you could maybe tell me a little bit about it?
What do you want to know?
Twilight asked, her ears flicking curiously.
Well, who's the author, for one?
Starlight said, shifting in her seat.
And why are all the characters reminiscent of ponies that I know in real life? Snow Dash, Rainbow Dash, Fluttershy, Flutterholly, me.
I get it.
Twilight interrupted, grinning so widely, Double Diamond would have been jealous.
The author is listed as an esteemed pony named, Sunset Shimmer. As for the characters, that's just a coincidence. Never really struck me as odd. Anything else?
The last sentence came out too fast.
Berry Punch kinda threw up on your carpet yesterday.
What?
Twilight was thrown into full panic mode.
Why didn't any pony tell me yesterday? What if Princess Celestia stops by for a surprise visit?
In a burst of sparkles, Twilight left the library in a frantic dash to the foyer.
Detective time.
Starlight muttered. She scanned the bookshelf and, to her delight, found the book of interest. Starlight snatched it off the bookshelf and flipped it open to the first page.
A Hearthwarming Tale by Twilight Sparkle? Twilight wrote this?
Knowing Twilight could come back at any moment, Starlight began flipping through the pages frantically. A sentence towards the end caught her eye.
Snowfall Frost ran a hoof through her straight indigo mane. Snowfall is Twilight, then. Well, that clears this all up.
She read through the rest of the page, which Twilight had neglected to include the previous night.
Snowfall felt ecstatic even after she had been such a jerk. Snow Dash would let her into her house and her heart. That night, she discovered one of the best hearth-warming gifts is a good kiss?
Starlight, I cleaned up.
Starlight looked up like a foal caught stealing cookies.
You're rereading that?
The jig's up, Twilight.
Starlight exclaimed, pointing an accusatory hoof towards her mentor.
You wrote this, not Sunset, Glitter, or whoever.
I'm a very gifted writer.
Most normal ponies don't write fan fiction of their friends.
Actually, a lot of ponies do.
And publish that fan fiction?
Touché. In fairness, it was only published for a couple of years before I became a princess. Then I had to pull all the books off the shelves because my name was too, well known.
And it didn't occur to you that your friends might buy these books.
Twilight shrugged helplessly.
I happen to know that none of my friends read the genre I specialize in. Sci-fi parodies. This is just a holiday special.
Starlight nearly dropped the book.
Dear Celestia, you mean there's more?
Twilight held up the book she had been reading when Starlight walked in.
I have the surviving copies of all my works.
Fluttering and sparkling hearts.
Starlight rolled her eyes.
Real original, Twilight.
I'll let you read some if you don't tell the others.
Starlight blanched. She then leaned in and murmured.
I'll take all the Twidash fics you have.